Morning class, welcome to your English video lecture. So children, as you all know that we are doing English grammar portion, right? English language. So in our previous class we have completed verbs, right? Kinds of verbs. Now today in this video we will start a new topic from your English language, that is tenses. Okay, so as you all are familiar that what are tenses, we will do tenses today, and in tenses we are going to talk about past, present and future tense. But before we move on to the videos, I would like to recall a few things to all of you, that I hope that all of you are doing the homeworks that I have giving you at the end of the videos. And as I find it very, you know, nice that some of the students who are not able to answer few questions, they are texting me and then they are asking for the answers of those questions. So very good students, it means that you are watching the videos and you are doing the homework that I am giving you. So very good all of you. So now students, today's topic is tenses, and we will be discussing that what are tenses. So here, before we move on to the detail part, let's us discuss and see that how we by ourselves can form tenses and what basically tenses are. Okay, okay children, so now let's see that what is the general definition of tenses. So here you can see that tenses are used to denote time and action in a sentence. Okay, so tenses are basically used to denote at what time that action took place and what is the action that happened. Okay, so basically tenses are basically the time when an action took place. Okay, tenses tells you about the time when an action took place. So here by this you can understand that what is the main two parts of tenses. These are time and action, right? So first of all, let's understand time. So as we all know that time are divided into three main categories, right? What are times? Like present time, past time and future time, right? So present, past and future can be, you can say that present means what? The things that are happening right now. So you can relate present with now, the things that are happening now. Similarly, past means what? Back then, something that already happened, right? Past means back then. You can relate past to back then, that had already happened. Similarly, future means what? The coming time, right? Future means the coming time. So as I have already told you students that tenses are what? Tenses are basically the things which tells you about the time when an action took place. So the two major things which we need to understand tense are time and action. So if you understand that how we use time in the form of tenses and how we use action, then you are able to understand these categories more clearly. Okay, so now as we have talked about time means there are three main categories of time: present, past and future. Okay, present means something that is going on. Present means now time. Okay, past means back then, which had already happened. Okay, and future means something that we are going to face, or you can say the coming time. So I hope the time part is clear to you, that what and how many parts of time we include in a sentence. Now, moving on, let's see action. What about action? What are actions? So, children, actions are generally divided into four main categories. Okay, simple or indefinite action. Simple or indefinite action. Then we have continuous. The third one is perfect, and then we have perfect continuous. Now, let us understand all these three. Okay, so time portion is covered. Now we are seeing the action part. So first is simple or indefinite. So as you have heard about simple present tense or simple indefinite tense. So now what is simple indefinite means? Simple indefinite generally means the time we have no idea of the length and duration. Something that is happening, but we don't know about the duration or the timing of that action that is going on. That is known as simple or indefinite. Understood? Simple or indefinite means something which we have no idea about the duration and the length of that particular thing, that how long it is going to happen or how long this action is going to take place to complete itself. That is known as simple. Okay, then we have continuous. By continuous, name itself suggests that continuous means something which is happening continuously. Jo chal raha ho, that is continuous. Then we have perfect. So perfect, you can understand it as 100%. 100% means the action which is completed, the action which started and it get completed, that is known as perfect tense. Okay, action, in action, perfect. Okay, then we have perfect continuous. Perfect means 100% which is done, and continuous means which is continuing. Let's see, let us understand this with an example. I have written here an example. I will be taking class for 2 hours. Okay, I will be taking class for 2 hours. So here by this you can understand that what is the action that is going to take place, that is of taking class, right? It is a continuous action. The person is going to take class for 2 hours. The action that taking class is going to happen continuously, and that action is also going to get complete after 2 hours, right? After 2 hours his class will get over. So here the action will start, it is going to happen continuously, and after the continuation it will end at a particular time. So that is known as perfect continuous tense. Okay, so these are the major parts of time and action. Time is divided into 3 categories and action is divided into 4 categories. And by using these parts we make different type of tenses. So there are total 12 type of tenses. How many type of tenses? 12 type of tenses. So now that you have understood that how what are the portions of time and what are the portion or parts of action, so to simply make a tense, we all know that there are 12 type of tenses. So to simply understand that how many tenses we include, there are total 12 tenses. And how these tenses are formed, it's simply by adding time plus action. As we know that time plus action is equals to tense, so similarly we just have to add time with the action. So the first time is present time, right? So we are going to add present with all these 4 actions. Then we are going to get our first 4 tenses. Okay, similarly we will be adding the second part of time with all these actions. Okay, with all these 4 actions, then we are going to get our next 4 tenses. Similarly with future we are going to do same. So now let's see how these actions are formed. Okay, tenses are formed. So first type of tense is present simple tense. Okay, we have taken the time part from here, and then we have added the time plus action. We will get. Okay children, so I hope you understood the time and action part. Now by adding time and action together we form our 12 type of tenses. Okay, so the first 4 type of tenses are associated with past tense. That is, simply we are adding simple past tense. Okay, we have added the action part and also the time part, and then it became the tense. Okay, as we know that that tenses are the combination of time plus action. Okay, similarly the second type of tenses is past continuous tense. Then we have past perfect tense, and the fourth one is past perfect continuous tense. So as we have done, made these 4 tenses, similarly we are going to make other 4 other 8 tenses. So for present tense, what we are going to do, we are just going to replace the past type here with present. So the first one will become simple present tense, second one will become present continuous tense, third one will become present perfect tense, and the fourth one will be present perfect continuous tense. So students, I hope you understood that how these 12 tenses are and what are the name of these 12 tenses. Now moving further, yes, I will be students, I will be providing you answers to these questions, so don't hesitate to ask. Now let's move on. Now we are going to talk about the uses of these tenses. Okay, in this particular video we will be just talking about the present, simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. Okay, these three tenses we are going to talk about. We will be talking about the action, simple action. Okay, so first of all we have simple present tense. So why we use simple present tense? Simple present tense is basically used to express what is actually happening at the present moment. Present moment, the action that is actually going on at the present moment, that is known as simple present tense. Let's see examples, children. See how it rains. Okay, see how it rains means look that it is raining right now. So you can see that how it is raining right now. So here the action is actually happening at the present time. Okay, next is to express custom or habit. Custom or habit means, custom means a tradition, okay, which is happening for a very long time, and habit means something that is you have a habitual action which is habitually happening. Like for example, cow give us milk. Okay, cow give us milk. Children, here by understanding that what simple present expresses, you can understand that how, where you can use simple present tense. So the first way to use simple present tense is if you are expressing that what is actually happening at a particular present moment. Okay, the second one is to express a custom or habit. Custom or habit, which is actually, habit is what, which is actually continuing at that particular time, right? At that moment the habit is still there. Similarly, if you are talking about a custom, custom means a tradition which is happening for a very long time. So if you are telling or expressing these two type of these two type of expressions, then you can take it as a simple present part. Okay, the second one is I play tennis every day. It is a form of custom. Custom means he is doing that habitual action. He is doing it as his habitual action. He is he is playing tennis every day. Then we have to express general truth. General truth means something which is actually real, which is actually true. So if you are expressing truth, general truth, then it also comes under simple present part. Okay, so here let us look at example. Man is mortal. Mortal means something which can die. Man is mortal. Immortal means which cannot die, which will never have a end. Man is mortal means he is going to die someday, some or the other day. So it means the end of a man, it happens, it will happen some way or the other way. Okay, second is where there is a will, there is a way. So where there is a will, there is a way. You understood what is the meaning of this? It means if you if you want to do something, and if you have that will inside yourself, if you have that hard work, hard work you want to put into it, then yes, if you want to find a way, you will find a way for the things to happen. So these are the three ways in which we can use simple present tense. Okay, now students, how we make simple present tense means what are the ways to use simple present tense. So here the first is with first person. First person means I and we, who is the speaker. Second person you, the listener. and the third person plural subject. Plural means more than one. Okay, so whenever these three things we are talking about, we will always take the root form of the verb. Root form means the actual form of the verb, the first form of the verb. Okay, so for example, I sing. Here I is a first person, so with I we have used the first root form of the verb, that is actual verb, first form of the verb, sing. Okay, now the second part tells you that with third person singular. Singular means when we are talking about a third person in a singular manner. Okay, like he, she, it, girl, John, etc., we add s or es to the root verb. Root verb means the actual verb. Here see this, he sing. He sing is the actual root verb. With sing we have just added s to make it simple present tense. Understood, students? So these are the ways how you can change the verb from its you can change the verb in its simple present form. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. Now the next topic which we have in simple present tense is how to use simple present tense in negative sentence. Negative sentence means whenever we are saying no, not. Okay, negative means मना करने वाली चीज़ है. So whenever we are forming sentences in this form, how we can use simple present tense in negative sentences. So there are two ways. First is we add do not before the root verb with I, we, you, they and all other plural subject. Okay, so whenever we are talking about I, like I sing, like this, so we will say I do not sing. Okay, so whenever we have I, we, you, they and all other plural subjects, then we will simply use do not to make it negative sentence. Understood? Next is we add does not before the root verb with he, she, it and all other singular subject. So the third person, right? When we are talking about third person or the singular subject, then we will add does not before the root verb. Root verb means before verb we are going to use these two parts. If it has I, we, you, they and other plural subjects, we will add do not, and if it has he, she, it, we will add does not before the root verb. Okay, now moving on, children. Now we have simple past tense. Okay, simple past tense. So the simple past tense is used to express an action that took place in the past. Okay, so whenever we are talking about action which has already happened in the past, okay, like I said, happened means ho chuka hai. So whenever we are talking about an action that took place in the past, then we are going to consider it as simple past tense. Like for example, I saw an elephant yesterday. Okay, I saw an elephant yesterday. So what is the meaning of this sentence? That the person who is the speaker, he saw an elephant, but when he saw the elephant, it was yesterday, which has already happened, right? It has already happened. So that is past tense, simple past tense. My mother took us to a circus. Took us to a circus means her mother, took her to the circus. So these are the examples of simple past tense. Now moving on, some important rules while forming simple past tense or past tense are: you usually form the simple past tense by adding ed to the verb. Ed to the verb means we have verb and after verb we are going to just add ed. Let's see example. Like here we have the verb word cross. With cross, to form it past tense, to take it as in its past tense, we will simply add ed to it and it will become crossed. Okay, now similarly the next verb is jump. To make jump into its past form, we have added ed to it and it has become jumped. Okay, now if the verb ends with E, if a verb which is ending with E, we will simply add D to it because E is already present there, right? Let's see example, agree. So we will simply add D to it, it will become agreed. Okay, here are some few more example you can see, students. Now, for those which have double the last letter of a verb before you add ed. So there are some words where we will simply double the last word. Means the last word we will write it double times, 2 times, and then we will add ed. For example, drum. Drum, we have added the last word once again, that is M, letter, alphabet, okay, and then we have added ed, that has become drummed, okay, in its past form. So these are few rules which you have to consider while you are forming verbs in its past tense. The above verbs are one syllable verbs. They end with a consonant and one vowel before the consonant. So all the verbs that we have discussed previously, these above, they all have the verb, one syllable verbs, which basically is they are ending with a consonant, and before the consonant they have a vowel. Okay, so if the verb ends with y, you change the y to I before adding ed. So if a verb has y to it, we will simply add I, replace y with I, and then we are going to add ed to it. Let's see example, carry. Carry, y we are going to replace it with I, and then we are going to add ed to it, which become carried. So these are few ways, these are few important rules which you have to consider while you are forming for past tense. Okay, now let's move on, children. So these were the past tense, simple past tense. Now how we form question or interrogative and negative sentences in simple past tense. So here look at it. In negative sentence, the pattern means the way of forming negative sentences. Subject, okay, subject, after subject we will add did not, and then we are going to add a root verb, the actual verb, and then the remaining part of the sentence, that is subject, that is she did not cry at all. So these are a negative sentence. Negative, by adding did not we made it negative sentence. Now for interrogative, what we are going to do, we are going to put did before the subject. Okay, before the subject we are going to put did, then the subject will be added, and after that verb, root form of the verb plus question mark. Okay, as you know that in interrogative sentences we always have question mark at the end. So these are the ways to form negative and interrogative sentences. Okay, so children, we have talked about simple present tense, simple past tense. Now we are going to move on with simple future tense. So what are simple future tense? Simple future tense is used to express some future action or event. Okay, so whenever we are talking about a future action that is going to happen, then we have we can consider it as a simple future tense. Let's see example here. I shall go to Lucknow tomorrow. So I shall go to Lucknow tomorrow means he wants to go to Lucknow. He is going to go to Lucknow tomorrow. So the action is going to happen tomorrow, right? So it is simply expressing the future action or event that is going to happen. Now here it is note written here, which is you use shall or will with the pronoun I and we when you are deciding to do something and to make forecast. Forecast means if you are making a prediction, then with I and we, with the first person pronoun, you will use shall or will. Okay, now let's see, students. Like for example, I shall see you in London. Okay, so you are expressing a a future event that you want to do, right? So here I shall see you in Lucknow. These are some example. You can read it by yourself. And for negative sentence in future tense, simple future tense, what we simply do, we simply add not after shall or will. Okay, so see, like I shall not see you in London. So similarly, this example we have taken. So for with after shall, we simply have added not to the sentence to make it negative sentence. Now for interrogative sentence, what we basically do is, for interrogative sentence, we either use will and shall according to the subject, and then root verb, and at the end we use question mark. Root verb means the first form of the verb. Okay, so with second and third person, we have, in the above part we have only discussed about the first person. With second and third person, he, she and theys, you form future tense in the following way. Like following way means, with you will use will, singular subjects. Okay, and for plural you will use you will. Similarly, now third person, will, it will, she will, he will. Okay, so they are basically similar. So now children, so these were simple future tense. Okay children, so here I will be ending this video. I hope that all of you understood that what are tenses, how we can form tenses. Okay, and the exercise, the homework, I will be providing you a worksheet for this section. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you very much, students.